Good morning. Today we are working on lesson 4, word problems. I love word problems, so today's going to be extra fun. So let's open to your textbook, lesson 4. Let's read the first problem. It says, there are 11 avocados. 5 avocados are on a plate. The rest are in a bowl. How many avocados are in the bowl? So the first step to solving your word problem is to read the whole problem. The second step is we're going to go back and we're going to read it again, but after every sentence we're going to think about what did I understand, and we're going to draw a picture to show what we understood. Okay? So now that we read the first time, I'm going to read it the second time. The first sentence, there are 11 avocados. Okay, so I understand there's 11 avocados. I'm going to show a picture of the 11 avocados. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 avocados. And I'm going to write down the number 11 avocados. Now we continue reading. It says 5 avocados are on a plate. So 5 of these avocados are on a plate. I'm going to draw a circle and mark the ones that are on a plate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to circle those. 5 of these avocados, and I'm going to draw an arrow. These are on a plate. How many are on a plate? 5. So I'm kind of labeling what I understood. 5 are on a plate. The rest are in a bowl. The rest are in a bowl. But it didn't tell us how many are in a bowl, but I already know all of this, the rest of them, are going to be in a bowl. So I'll label that in a bowl. I can easily tell how many are in a bowl because I can just count them, right? How many avocados are in the bowl? 5, 6 are in the bowl. If I wanted to show a subtraction equation for this problem, I would start with my number 11. And if I'm trying to find one part and I know one part, what do? I take away the plates that are in the bowl to see how many are left. I take away the avocados that are on a plate to see how many avocados are left in a bowl. So this is me taking it away. That means I'm going to subtract. What am I subtracting? What I know. The 5 that are on the plate equals what's left is going to be the avocados that are in the bowl. I'm going to do this subtraction using the first method by taking apart the 11. The number 11 has a 10 and a 1. 10 minus 5 is 5. And if I add those leftovers, I will get the number 6. Here it is. And then now I'm going to do the same subtraction using the second method we learned last Friday. This was 11 minus 5. And in that method, we're taking apart the number 5 instead. We're saying inside of the number 5, there is a 1 and a 4. This method, we always take away from the ones place first. So now we can say 1 minus 1 is 0. 10 minus 4 is 6. And if we add those leftovers, again, we have the number 6. So we used 2 different methods, came up with the same answer. And in the statement in your book, it says, how many avocados are in the bowl? You will write the number 6 in that little box, okay? Now in your book also, aside from showing you the pictures, they are showing you the number bonds. So here they're drawing the number bond, and I'll draw it for you on the board. If you have your number bond, you can use this, or you can just draw your own number bond on your paper. We draw 1 circle for the whole, and 2 circles for the 2 parts, and then we draw a line to show the whole going to the 2 parts. So we say whole, part, whole, part, whole. These are the two parts. This is the whole, okay? So if we had the problem, 11 minus 5 equals 6. This is the one we just finished doing with the avocados. Which number here is the whole? The biggest number is always the whole. So the whole is 11. And the problem told us there was 11 avocados. And then the problem said 5 of them, one part of that is 5 of them, are on a plate. How many are on a bowl, in a bowl, right? So this is how we would set up your number bond. And then we could subtract to find out what this number is. Or you can count up. You could say 5 in my head, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That is how you get there by counting up. And then you check how many did I count up. I counted 6 numbers. So this number is 6. Now on the other side of your paper, on the same paper, the other side of it, the problem still says there are 5 avocados on a plate. So I'll write that down. 5 avocados on a plate. I'm going to label what I know. 5 of them are on a plate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then it says 6 avocados are in the bowl. It's telling us 6 avocados are in the bowl. And I'll draw my 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now if I wanted to represent this story using my number bond, again I would draw my 1 circle. This is for the whole. And 2 more circles. These are my 2 parts. Part, whole. What are the 2 parts in this story? One part is the avocados that are on a plate, which is 5. And the other parts are the avocados that are in a plate, in a bowl, which is 6. The question says, how many avocados are there in all? When it says, are there in all, we are going to add to find the total, all together, all. It's saying, how many are there in all? That's when we add those 2 numbers, 5 plus 6. 5 plus 6. Inside the 6, there is a 5 and a 1. The reason I said there's a 5 is because I wanted to add 5 plus 5 to get to 10. I like doing that. 5 plus 5 is 10. 10 plus 1 is 11. Or you could have said, let's show one more way before we move on. 5 plus 6. You could have asked yourself, how many more does 6 need to get to 10? 6 needs a 4 to get to 10. Inside the 5, there's a 4 and a 1. 6 plus 4 is 10. 10 plus 1 is 11. Okay? So the whole would be 11. And the statement underneath that one says there are avocados in all. So in that box, we would write down there are 11 avocados in all. Okay, let's turn to the next page and see what other word problems they have for us. Oh, this one has some birds. Okay, the question asks, remember step 1, read the whole question. 8 birds are in a bird bath. If 4 more birds come to the bird bath, how many birds will be in the bird bath? Now I'm going to go back and read just the first sentence. 8 birds are in a bird bath. There's the 8 birds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 birds are in a bird bath. In a bird bath. 8. If 4 more birds come to the bird bath, 4 more are coming. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 more, because it said more, I know I'm going to add. How many birds will be in the bird bath? How many will be there all together? I'm going to add 8 plus 4. What does 8 need to get to 10? Oops, this side. What does 8 need to get to 10? a 2. 1, 2. 8 plus 2 is 10. What is left on this side? A 4 has a 2 and a 2. Add those leftovers. 10 plus 2 is 12. 8 gets these 2, right? That's that 2 right here. That becomes a 10. What's left on this side? Another 2. 10 plus 2 is 12. So if you're looking at your number bond, the two parts, part, whole, 8 is one part of the story, 4 is the other part of the story. Total is asking us how many birds will be in the bird bath altogether. 8 plus 4 is 12. So in our statements, we will write down birds will be in the bird bath. 12 birds will be in the bird bath. That was for number 1. Okay, now for the next one, I'm not going to write the word problem. You can just read along from your book as I read it here from my book. Okay, number 2 says there are 15 balloons. If 7 balloons fly away, how many balloons will be left? So I'm going to stop and draw a picture of what I know. It said there are 15 balloons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. There are 15 balloons. So that's all together, right? There's 15 balloons. Here is my, actually let's put that on the side. I'm going to draw my number bond right here. And where do you think I'm going to put my 15 balloons? 15 is the total, all the balloons that we have. So I'm going to put it in the hole, 15 balloons. If 7 balloons fly away, so we have 15 balloons, some are going to fly away. That means we're going to take them away, right? So I'm going to write a minus to show that they're going to fly away. How many are flying away? 7. I'm going to show 7 is the part of the story that's going to fly away. I'm wondering, what is the other part? The question says, how many balloons will be left? If these flew away, how many are left? Let's look at here. Let's take away the 7 using our new method, taking from the ones place first. Let's take the 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I took away my 7. What is left? 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so let's do that same thing on here. If I'm taking 7, what is inside of 7? There is a 5, because I'm going to take away from the ones place first, right? There's a 5 and a 2. 5 plus 2 is 7. Now I can subtract. 5 minus 5 is 0. 10 minus 2 is 8. There's my 8. Okay, so in our box it says balloons will be left. We're going to write down the number 8 to say 8 balloons will be left. Okay, let's look at number 3. Number 3 says there are 17 squash. 8 squash are yellow. How many squash are green? So 17 squash. I'm going to draw my 17 squash. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 17 squash. Here is my number bond. And remember, you can draw your number bond and hold your paper any way you want to, as long as you know which part is the whole and which parts are 2 parts. Part, whole. So what number is the whole? How many squash are there? 17. So that is my whole. 17 squash. 8 squash are yellow. I'm going to show that 8 is yellow. That's one part of the squashes. And I'm going to mark my 8 here, right? Here's 5, 6, 7. I'm going to put this one on this side to make it 8. 5, 6, 7, 8 are yellow. I'm going to mark that in there. 8 are yellow. How many squash are green? How many are green? So this side is going to be green. But how do we know how much is green? We take away the yellow to see what's left, which is going to be green. That's why I'm going to put a subtraction sign. What are we taking away? The yellow. How much is that yellow? 8. There's 8 yellow. So I'm going to take away the 8 to find out how many are green. I want to subtract from the ones place first. So I'm going to tell myself what is inside of this 8. There's a 7 and a 1. 7 plus 1 is 8. Now I can subtract. 7 minus 7 is 0. 10 minus 1 is 9. So there should be 9 green. 9. Let's count to see if there is 9. Here's 5 and 4. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 green. We were right. So on your paper, in your book, it's showing you a box, a circle, a box equals another box. This is because they want you to write your own equation, just like we did up here, right? We started with our total number, 17. We took away the yellows to find out how many green are left. So that's what it will look like in your book. And then you would write down in your statement, it says, are green. How many are green? 9. So you would put your 9 right in there. Great job, you guys. Let's look at number 4. Okay, number 4 says there are 16 bees. 9 bees are on a flower and the rest are on the ground. How many bees are on the ground? I read it once. Now I'm going to draw a picture of what I know. There are 16 bees. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. You don't have to draw your bees because in the book there's already the pictures right there for you. But if you want to draw them, you absolutely can. So there are 16 bees. I'm also going to draw my number bond. Part, whole. And then I'm also going to draw the squares that you're looking at. You're looking at a square, a circle, a square equals the square. The circle is for your adding or subtracting symbols, so plus or a minus. Okay, so I drew my 16 bees. Now I'm going to read the second sentence. 9 bees are on a flower and the rest are on the ground. 9 bees are on a flower. So I'm going to mark the 9 that I know are on the flower. Here is 6, 7, 8, 7, 8, 9. Okay? I wanted to circle it from here because remember to keep the tens frame as same as you can, because then you can always see your 5 and your 2 here. Okay? So, oh, you know what? I'm going to pause right here because I forgot one step. I forgot to write what I know. I'm going to reread the first sentence. There are 16 bees. So I drew my 16 bees, but I forgot to write down. I have 16 bees. That's my total. Here's my 16 total, or the whole. Now we were talking about the 9 bees that are on the flower. So I'm going to mark down 9 on the flower. And the question is asking how many bees are on the ground. So we're trying to find how many are on the ground. So in order to find what's on the ground, we're going to take away the ones that are on the flower. So I'm going to write a subtract that we're taking away. What are we taking away? The ones that are on the flower. How many are on the flower? 9. Now we're going to be able to find how many are left on the ground. So right away I know the other part of this number bond is 9. And we're trying to find the other part. Now I'm going to subtract, and I want to take away from the ones place first because I want to take away the 6 first. I know there's a 6 inside this 9, and there's also a 3. 6 plus 3 is 9. You can see that right here. 6. There's a 6 inside of this 9, and there's a 3 inside of that 9. You see that? When we draw it, it's really easy to see. Now we can subtract. 6 minus 6 is 0. 10 minus 3 is 7. And there's our answer, 7. So 7 is the other part of our number bond. Now let's check to see if we are right. Are there 7 on the ground? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep, we were correct. So all the way at the bottom of your paper, it says, are on the ground. You're going to write down 7 are on the ground. That one is when you're writing your statement. So we did our problem using an equation, we drew pictures, we did a number bond, and the last part is writing a statement, and they wrote the statement for us. We just had to plug in our number. Let's go to the last page. We have just 2 more word problems. You guys are doing a great job. Let's look at number 5. I'll read it and you can read it along with your book. It says, there are 13 golf balls. 4 golf balls are on the grass. How many golf balls are in the bucket? So I'm going to read the first sentence again. There are 13 golf balls. 13 golf balls. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to draw my picture as soon as I know. 13 golf balls total. Here is my number bond. Part, whole. There are 13 golf balls, so I'll put 13 in my whole. 4 golf balls are on the grass. I'm going to mark the ones that I know are on the grass. They said 4. Here is my 3 and 4 on the grass. So 4 is one part of that number bond. On your paper, they already gave you 13. Circle 4 equals. So we know we're starting with 13. The question says, how many golf balls are in the bucket? So whatever is not on the grass is in the bucket, right? How do we find out how many are in the bucket? We take away the ones that are on the grass. Then we can see what's left in the bucket. So because we're taking away, we're going to write a minus symbol. And what are we taking away? The 4 that are on the grass to see how many are in the bucket. When we're subtracting, I want to take away from the ones first. This is a new method we learned. So I'm going to take apart the 4. Inside the 4, there is a 3 and a 1. Now I can take away. 3 minus 3 is 0. 10 minus 1 is 9. So the other part of our number bond is 9. Let's double check to see if we got it right. 5 plus 4 is 9. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay? So, and then the last part here for your statement, it says, golf balls are in the bucket. You're going to put in the number 9 in that square to show that there are 9 golf balls in the bucket. Let's do the very last problem, number 6. It says there are 9 nails in the bag and 8 nails in the box. How many nails are there all together? Okay, so I'm going to read the first sentence one more time. There are 9 nails in the bag. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 9 nails. I'm going to label it in the bag. And, it said and, so I'm thinking probably we're going to add 8 nails in the box. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 nails in the box. So when I draw my number bond, where do I put the 9? Do you think the 9 is a total? Do I put it in the whole? No, right? 9 is one part. 9 are in the bag, and there's some more in the box. So the other part is 8 in the box. The question says, how many nails are there all together? We're trying to find out how many there are all together, which means we're going to add. Underneath, you have a square, a circle, a square equals another square. This is so you can write your own equation. We're trying to find the total all together, so we know we're going to add. What 2 parts are we going to add? To get the whole, we're going to add the 9 that are in the bag plus the 8 that are in the box to figure out how many there are all together. 9 plus 8. How many more does 9 need to get to 10? 1 more. What is left inside of this 8? A 1 and a 7. 9 plus 1 is 10. 10 plus 7 is 17. Let's do that addition here. If we gave this 9, one more, right? This would go here. That would make a 10. What would be left? 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. There we go. So what number do we put here? We put a 17 because 17 is the whole, total, all together. And in the bottom, there is a statement. It says, there are nails. There are, you got it, 17 nails. You guys did a wonderful job with today's lesson. You can go ahead and close out your textbook. You're going to take out your workbook and open to exercise lesson 4. You're going to work on this on your own independently. It's this page and the one behind it. You don't need to do exercise 5 yet, okay? Just these 2 pages. Please work on them on your own, but if you need help, if you're stuck, if you're not sure, please ask an adult that's around you that can help you out, okay? Great job, loves. See you tomorrow. Bye.